Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Disclaimer. I said I'm going to edit that out. Travis said, no, you leave it in. So, for the record, that was not laziness. That was Travis thinking it was funny, and he's right. Other than that, hello there. Welcome back to Campus Like the Show, your favorite nerds sit down and riff a little. I am your host, Jared the Dark Jedi Bachman Stubbs. I have a green apple jalapeno soda that I've been waiting for it. I think I need a bottle opener.
That's really funny. Here, 1 second.
Yeah, you crack the can.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. While you do that, Lexi is here too.
Here comes the boy. My hair is stuck on him.
Ooh, he's beeping.
Wait. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you,
My
Travis. Oh, Philip. All right. So real quick, first sip of green apple jalapeno. I've been waiting like 2 or 3 weeks to try this on air. That is good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do that.
That might be my...
That's all right.
I like that. It's a step up from like the ranch dressing soda,
I can imagine.
which is the worst thing I think I've ever put in my body. I almost immediately vomited. For those of you listening to the audio version that are missing out on Lexi's droid son, which
I got a boy from Disney. I made a boy. My little.
Which is basically going to be like the episode this week is Travis and Lexi telling stories from Florida, but it's my life.
You guys didn't hear that, did you? You didn't hear that? Okay, good. Because I accidentally pressed the button on my Raycons, and a video from one of my assignments started playing, and I was like, what was that?
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, she has her little adorable droid son. Actually, Lexi, here, I'll full screen you so you can give him his just deserves.
There we go. Okay, he's done.
He's beautiful. Are you gonna wait until?
I might wait a minute.
You're just okay.
Yeah, he's just gonna sit in my lap.
Okay.
I just like having.
See, that's the nice thing about the way we have the camera set up is that we can just hide shit like at like stomach or hip level. The last 2 episodes of the Versus series, the studio was so warm that Spencer and I recorded them both not wearing our pants.
Mike Doling is actually duct taped under the table.
Yeah, Mike. Okay, here's like one quick story about Mike. It's going to be about what happened last night.
Oh, yeah.
So at the bar, club, whatever that I work at, there's like the daily and weekly sign up. For the daily sign up, you throw in a quarter, and then the next day they pull a number. If it's your membership number and you were signed that day, you win the money. Same thing goes, only it's $1 for the week. Same thing. If you're there, if you're signed, to get the money. If you're not there and you're signed, to get half. Ever since the weekly came back, and like most everybody, like save for you, but like you're not that's just not your speed or whatever. Our members. So like once the weekly came back, I was like, hey, this is gonna go up high quickly, and there's a real chance for like a decent payday. Y'all need to make sure you're signing up for the weekly, because if one of you guys get pulled and you're not signed, I'm going to feel terrible and also laugh my ass off. Mike has won the daily. Not won because he hasn't been signed. Has had his number pulled for the daily at least 4 times.
So I know about twice because it happened once while we were at camp. I think. No, you got pulled.
I got pulled. Yeah, I got pulled while we were at camp.
Yeah.
And I got clowned on by everybody for it. But I got pulled while we were at camp. Mike got pulled a couple times, and then a couple times after the weekly, he got pulled. This past Saturday, his number got pulled again. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to torture him and send him a picture of it again. What Mike doesn't know won't hurt him. He got pulled for the weekly last night.
No.
So the payday he missed out on for Saturday, $377.
Oh.
Last night, had he been signed and present, $2,057.
No. Who? Oh. Can I sign up?
Yeah, next time you're in town, we'll get you signed up to be a member and everything. But yeah,
I won't show up, but only for the nights that you do that.
You just got but if you're not there, you get half. So even if Mike was just signed, he's walking away with a G.
Yeah. Did you tell him?
Yeah. Yeah, it was in the TNAP chat. I sent the picture in. I sent the picture of both the daily that he missed and the weekly, and just all we got back within 5 minutes in all caps was "son of a bitch," and he's been silent since. Like he hasn't sent a weird video or anything. I think Mike is just like crying and taking the L right now.
I'd be very upset.
Oh yeah, I cussed him out. Yeah. Over $160 that I missed on.
Yeah,
it was the Friday that we were coming back from camp, and the Thursday before, he and I had a conversation pretty much before anybody was moving, where I was like, I feel like we should go to the club to get more ice.
And yeah, we have plenty. We still have half a bag in the freezer.
We have half a bag in the freezer. It's the last day, and I was like, okay. And then the next day, my number gets pulled. And then, like, the Sunday I worked after that, once I saw it, I sent him a picture. I was like, hey, asshole, you owe me $160. Oh, I feel so bad for Mike. Because my mom, my mom is texting me. Because she's the one who always ends up having Mike's number pulled while she's working. And immediately feels bad for it. And the number got pulled. She went over to like the binder that has all the member numbers in them. And I heard my mom out because I heard it was an 800 number, which is all the new members. And I heard my mom go, oh no. And I was pouring somebody a drink and I stopped in my tracks. I went, it's Mike. She went,
good.
We were all
maybe it's karma for you guys. You guys did something that karma's getting back at you for.
Yeah. But anyway, the floor is either of yours for Florida stories.
I'll go. I'll go. Just because it's kind of facilitated from me.
Yeah.
So, my friend Haley worked at Disney right before the pandemic hit, and she got fired because of the pandemic, so she had to be sent home. And because Disney is so generous, they gave her comp tickets to Disney to come back and just go to the parks. but she needed to use them before, I think, mid-September. So coming up, right? Second week of September. What she was going to do, because she lives near Disneyland, she's from Vegas, she was going to use those tickets to go there. But she couldn't because the way that Disney works now is that you have to reserve the days that you're there. And that started because of COVID, so that they can like have a capacity on certain, on days.
Interrupting real quick, just out of curiosity. Is that we started doing this because of the pandemic and
it's
we're
now
keep it around?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that was like still,
because it
we're
kind
in a
of
pandemic rule.
It's indefinite. So regardless of pandemic,
Yeah.
it just is a system that works, I guess, for them. So you have to reserve your days that you're there. And if it fills up, you can't go that day. So all of Disneyland's days, sorry, I keep forgetting where the camera is. All the days for Disneyland are filled. So Haley can't use her tickets for Disneyland, but she could still use them for Disney World. And I joked with her a couple months ago, and I was like, sorry, that is his, I'm turning off now. After 5 minutes, it goes into rest mode if you happen to hear him.
I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. I'm going to set him down. He's napping. But anyway, I joked and I said, hey, you should fly to Disney World and I'll meet you down there. And she was like, actually, that's a good idea. Flash forward. That's what we do. I invite Travis as my +1. She had free tickets to Disney. All we had to really pay for was the plane ticket and the hotel.
Yeah.
This trip was something else. Haley kept saying that, oh, this is going to be like your first Disney trip, you know, whatever. It's not my first Disney trip. I've been to Disney in a weekend before. We go for Labor Day this time. And it's still only like 2 days being in Disney. And I told her that. I was like, how is this different from the last time I went? Because the last time I went, I still only went for 2 days. And she's like, yeah, but you'll be able to ride more and do stuff and whatever.
This time you were wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Yes. So she made it sound like we were going to get to everything. We definitely did not get to everything in 2 days. We did get to that, though, and my droid. But hold on, Travis.
It's sensitive. I'm sad.
Any hoozles. We get to Florida on last Friday. And immediately we go from the airport to City Walk. And City Walk is like the free part of Universal Studios. And it has all these like shops and food places, like restaurants. And we stop in this one store that had a bunch of Harry Potter crap in it. Here's my first haul. I love this mug. I absolutely love this mug.
It is a bitchin' mug.
Look at this. Just the detail of this mug. I wanted this mug so bad, and I got it. I also got a cute little ornament for my tree this year. Adorable. If you didn't know, I'm a Hufflepuff. Travis, you got a sweet ass Sirius Black wand.
I did. I don't have it with me currently, but
he's packing heat that's a little bit more impressive than a wand.
Yes.
I want to take a look at yours because I'm sure the Universal version is more detailed than the one I have.
It has the little detector in the front too to use in the park.
Oh, so it's okay. That's cool as shit.
So, did you know about that, Jared? About the parks that you can get these wands with like a detector on the top of it, and you point it at things and it makes stuff happen, and it's really cool. I didn't ever go to Universal before. I really want to, but that's another time when I have more money. So we do that. We go back to the hotel for like 5 minutes. We didn't spend any time in the hotel like we thought we would, but we went to Coronado Springs, which is on Disney property, which was really cool because that was the first time I ever stayed on property in Disney, and Travis's first time in Disney in general.
Period.
Yeah. Beautiful hotel. It's all like Spanish, Latin stuff. It's supposed to be dedicated to Salvador Dali and Disney's collaboration they did. The Lady and the Bell and all that animation stuff, which was really cool. And then we went to Disney Springs, and Disney Springs is the free part of Disney where it's just shops and restaurants. You don't have to pay to get in. I got this sweet ass Lady and the Tramp shirt from Uniglow, which is one of the stores there that I haven't been in before. Apparently it's really...
So we can show the shirt off. I really like that style.
One of the greatest love stories ever told. If y'all didn't know, Lady and the Tramp is, I think, my favorite Disney movie besides Star Wars and princess stuff. So that's cool. Uniglow, I didn't go there last time, but I've heard of it. It's apparently really popular in Japan. I don't know. They do a lot of like Disney collab.
Japan! Sorry.
They do a lot of Disney collab stuff. What else did I get? Oh, I got that long sleeved
the Spirit jersey.
Spirit jersey. Yeah, it's a Halloween one, and it has little pumpkins all over it. It's orange and black. And I didn't know this until I took the tags off, but it's glow in the dark, which is super cool because I like glow in the dark stuff. It's in my closet, but I don't feel like getting it. So maybe closer to Halloween, I'll wear it on the show at some point.
Just a funny thing, because like I think this is like the first show in a hot minute I'm not wearing like a Roosevelt's button down. But because Roosevelt's has done so many like Disney like collabs, be it Star Wars or like mainline Disney shit, they actually have a couple exclusive Roosevelt's that are sold in the park now.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a Star Wars one that's not exclusive anymore, but there was one that was called like Stay on Target. That had like a bunch of like little silhouettes of X-Wings and TIE fighters on it and shit. So
cool.
Just for fun, because I just really like that brand. Next time I'm there, I just want to see if I could find any Roosevelt's up there.
So, my friend Haley is like super into Disney. I love Disney, but the parks overwhelm me. And especially when you don't have like a whole week or two to experience it, it's a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
But she was determined to fit everything into 2 days, 3 days, whatever it was. And it just wasn't working. And at least not for me. For her, definitely did. But tensions were high, especially for me. Not that anything went wrong necessarily, but I was pooped. I was on a plane. I went straight to Disney. I came back to the hotel for like 5 minutes, and then the next day we woke up at like 6:30 in the morning. We went to, on Saturday, Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom. It was really fun. We saw a Lion King little musical show thing. We went on the safari. What else did we do? In Animal Kingdom, Travis.
We did the Avatar Banshee ride. Don't remember.
Yes.
First flight or whatever.
Flight of Passage.
Yeah, that one.
And then we did the Navi River journey, which was really cool. And that was fun. Also, Florida in
Sucks.
August, and Florida in the summer months, specifically August, is the
I could
is
never.
the absolute worst. And
Someone
those
would die,
who-
or someone would have to put me down. One of the two.
for
would
those of
happen.
you who do
I
not
can't.
know,
I can't.
shush. For those of you who don't know, I was born in Tampa. I didn't grow up there. I grew up in PA, but half of my dad's side of the family are all from Florida. And I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they live there. It's a mystery. But the whole time, the whole weekend, as you probably could guess, was like 90 degrees and 95% humidity. It was unbearable. I hate humidity. I don't mind heat as long as it's not gross and moist and still. There was no air flow, no wind.
Moist.
Thank you.
Shut the fuck up. Up until like, I don't know, 8 or 9 p.m., it was still 90 degrees. Haley is from Nevada, so she is used to the heat, but not maybe the moisture, but she was still used to the heat. It was difficult, and it was difficult for my hair, and everything was sweaty and frizzed. Don't know how Haley was doing it she barely was eating or drinking things. I was guzzling water. Travis was guzzling water. We were peeing a lot, and they were making fun of us for peeing a lot. But what else were we supposed to do? Can't hold it, but that's
Piss
fine.
on a kid.
Yeah. So
Speaking of,
see, he has to pee.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
trying
thought you were doing a bit.
No, he actually probably has to pee. So
Okay.
I'm trying to fit all this in and also not like shit talk Haley. I love Haley dearly, but this was not planned out right. But anyway,
It's
her
tough road to
uncle,
hoe doing a theme park vacation.
yeah, in August in 90-degree
Yeah.
heat.
Yeah.
But it's fine. So her uncle, though, was on a scooter because he went as well. So he didn't have to walk, which I was really jealous of him for. But he helped us skip lines and whatnot because of his scooter, which was neat. I did my makeup for the first
Do you
day.
need in the house?
no, your dad intercepted me. Kira's in the shower.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I wore my makeup for the first day and not the rest of the time because I learned my lesson. I melted most of it off. Most of it was in my mask. Why would I wear makeup with wearing a mask anyway? I don't know. I thought Haley and I were going to get a bunch of pictures taken, and we did get a decent amount, but I didn't. I thought I was going to get all these nice, cute, cool pictures of me. I got none of just me because I was irritable and sweaty and didn't want to be photographed with sweat running down my face. I am a little disappointed, though, that I didn't get any, like, single pictures of just me and, like, multiple taken, because some of the ones that we took I ended up not liking. Surprise, surprise, because I never like what I look like when other people take my picture. Magic Kingdom. We got to see the castle. Everything's decorated for the 50th anniversary of Disney World, which was really cool. We did Small World, which I always hear about. It's a small world, and we finally did it. It's cute and creepy all at the same time. What else did we do? Oh, we did the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which Haley, that's where she worked to begin with at Disney when she was there. What other rides? Did we do anything else in Magic Kingdom?
Did you guys do the Winnie the Pooh one from all the memes?
No, I wanted to, but
Time to bounce, motherfucker.
yeah, I really wanted to, but
No, I think it was just those two.
I think it was too. Haley told me
that shit.
Maybe.
Haley didn't do any of this on purpose, but she definitely what's the word, Travis? She overestimated the time that we had.
What I'm calling, she didn't allot for time to be human.
Yeah.
Like, if you budgeted out all the rides we were supposed to do and all the things we were supposed to see, we could have done it if we didn't have to walk between attractions, if the wait times were all set in stone, if we didn't have to eat or drink water, if we didn't have to use the bathroom. Like,
that's the thing that we've been talking for a while about trying to organize like a TNAP Disney World, mainly Galaxy's Edge retreat. And a big part of that will be like the logistical timing. That like there are two types of people at that type of place. Like there are, I'm here. I'm like I don't want when I say lollygag, I don't mean that as like a pejorative that like you're wasting time.
But just like, to meander and look at stuff and like eat and pee and relax.
And then there are other people who at a park are a motherfucking machine. And
Haley was a machine.
Haley's a machine. And like when you have a group of people that is like a 50-50 split of a motherfucking machine in a theme park who's just like, we're gonna go boom, 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 and they don't break a sweat doing it. And then people who, and like, I'm like you guys, like whenever I went with my cousin, he and we just kind of made our way around. Granted, we were there for Galaxy's Edge. So
exactly.
Like, we moved at a breakneck pace in Galaxy's Edge, but like, that was us. Like there has to be like an agreement on the pace.
I love Haley dearly, and I know she won't be listening to this show, but this is why I'm talking about it. I'm never going with her again unless it's to meet her there, not stay with her. Because this girl drove from Nevada to Florida, 0 sleep, and also barely slept the whole time we went to the parks. So I don't know how she was doing it.
Machine.
I started playing the video by accident again in my ear. If you want to hear about how horses get diseases.
The giant horse cock.
I like how it's a merge between that and Disney talk. Anyway, I'm trying to get this all out.
Sorry.
Again, fun. I didn't get to do half the stuff because Haley told me to make a list of things I wanted to do, right? We got to like 3 of those things. And I had a big list. And her uncle was kind of insufferable the whole time. He was really funny, but he was insufferable. Just very moody. And it was all about him, what he wants to do. And he was getting irritated at us for stopping to pee, which, sorry, we are human, and don't have a little scooter to ride around in the whole time. But I digress. So we got a couple cute pictures in front of the castle. I big smile at that. Those were adorable. Pictures you guys got in front of the castle.
I posted one of them, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, the ones of Travis and I think are cute. The ones of Haley and I, she looks good, I do not. So I'm disappointed about the pictures. And I wish we had time to like do retakes and like get a bunch of pictures taken, but all of us were not wanting to stand around and get pictures. We wanted to get to the rides and get where we're going. So next time, I guess. Then on Sunday, we went to Hollywood Studios for Galaxy's Edge, and then we went to Epcot. So I'll backtrack. Haley and all of us got up at the ass crack of dawn again at like 6 a.m. so that we could get reservations and boarding passes for Rise of the Resistance. We were able to get them as a group, and then we went back to bed for a little while. Not for very long, but we did. We ran over to Hollywood Studios. We weren't boarding yet, so we rode Mickey's Runaway Railway, which was super cute. The little shop, like kiosk outside of it when we were done, I wanted to get this really cute keychain, but I couldn't because we were rushing to get over to Rise of the Resistance, and Haley didn't really give me the time to stop and buy anything, and she said we would go back, but we didn't go back. So I'm kicking myself for not making her stop so I can buy my keychain. But anyway, we got to Rise. We walked through. It's so cool. I'm so glad we did it. We got all the way through the little tunnels, like in the rock and stuff, like the underground little tunnel. We saw BB-8 come out and like do his little computer stuff, and then Ray comes in on a hologram, and we see Poe talk and some of the other characters, including Nyan Num.
Your favorite.
I'm not doing a bit. I didn't know he was a part of Rise of the Resistance until right now.
Yes. Yes, he is.
I'm not going anywhere near that motherfucking ride.
There's even an animatronic.
There's an animatronic of Nyan Num?
Yeah.
I'm going in with a lightsaber. I'm just like glancing it. It's just like
so
from Disney World.
We get onto this transport, right? And the similar guy to It's a Trap, Admiral Akbar, but isn't Admiral Akbar, is piloting it. Poe Dameron's on the screens. We're getting shot at. It's awesome. Whatever. It looks like we're literally flying. The animatronic for fake Admiral Akbar, not Admiral Akbar. I don't know his name either.
She showed me the picture. It's weird
so
that they chose
real.
purple. It's weird that they chose purple because it makes it look like it's Radis.
His name started with a T, I think. I can't remember what it was. I could be wrong, but I remember a T sound. Anyway, looked so real. It was ridiculous. Like, it was scary. And then they start ushering us into the big hangar with all the stormtroopers in there. So cool, so real.
Lieutenant Beck.
That's it.
Beck. Maybe I was thinking Tech, like from. I think I was thinking Tech. Teak. But all of the stormtroopers weren't real. But they moved, and they looked like they were real. Their heads kind of moved around a little bit. Their bodies didn't move, but they kind of, just the little movements to make them seem like they're real people. And then they start ushering us out the exit. And for a split second, everybody thought it was part of the ride. It wasn't. The ride broke down. And they exited us out. And we were all like very confused, very upset. But they gave us a fast pass to get back on later that day so that we can do the ride again. I got Travis's picture in front of Poe Dameron's X-Wing, which was really cool, and glad that he let me take his picture. And nobody else offered to take my pictures, but it was fine.
I'm sorry.
Hindsight's 2020. I should have asked you or Haley to take my picture, but whatever.
You should have tried to climb inside of his X-Wing.
No.
Ever drop the little droid into the little droid port?
Yeah, but BB-8 was in there.
Oh, he wasn't there. Cool.
Yeah, do you see him in the picture?
Now I gotta go look for him.
You have to zoom in. BB-8's there. But anyway, we leave and come back. We went and saw Muppet Vision 3D, and we ate at Pizza Rizzo's. Barely ate. We had cannolis. But But Haley kept telling us not to eat all day long so that we can eat at the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot later that evening, which was a bad idea. And I will get to that in a second. But we got to ride Rise the first part a second time, and then we got through the whole thing. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to spoil anything, but Kylo Ren's there, and he looks real, and it's awesome, and it's my favorite thing from that trip, besides making my little dude. But
so just wait until you make your lightsaber.
Yeah, that we couldn't get reservations for that, and because Haley was like, "Go, go, 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 go! We're not waiting to do stuff."
Yeah,
we basically had to beg her to give us extra time at Galaxy's Edge while she went to go ride Tower of Terror, and that's the only reason why I made my little orb, because I basically told her, "I'm doing it. I don't care," because she was being a little bit of a bossy pants, not in a mean way, but she had her mindset on what we were doing, and nothing was going to change that. Mode. She was.
There was a moment of like, oh yeah, we could just split up and do things we want to do separately.
Like she didn't think about that before.
Yeah.
Like that didn't cross her mind that, oh, that's a good idea. We could split up, which we did. But Rise of the Resistance was amazing.
Me that the bathroom is free.
I'm back.
Anyway, amazing. Like Rise of the Resistance is amazing. It's like a little cart ride, and it takes you through and whatever. You're being chased by the First Order. That's all I'm gonna say.
And it's really cool because, like, I've seen like people who've gone to Disney and just like the pictures and press and all that stuff. Of like the battalion of stormtroopers in the hangar.
It's so cool looking.
Every time I see the picture, it's your header on Twitter right now. And
it's my background on my phone right now. Like, it's so cool.
Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, like this is just a bunch of statues with the armor on it. And like somebody who has just seen a lot of press, who's not ever been told or known that they're like just kind of like, you know,
they kind of move their head a little bit and they make noises. They kind of like cough and like just little subtle things.
Yeah, it makes it feel alive.
Yeah, it's really weird, but really cool. The droids are cool. There's like a little droid piloting your cart, helping you escape. I don't know what kind of droid it was. Again, I don't know. It was more like cylindrical looking and black. I don't know. But anyway, so we did that, and then we split up, and I found out that I didn't have to make a reservation to make a droid at the Droid Depot, because last year when I went...
yeah, that's right.
That was something you had to do. You had to make a reservation just like you did for making a lightsaber. But instead, you can just go in, get in line. You can make a reservation, but that just helps you to skip the other line. So they have two lines going, one with reservations, one without. The people with reservations are priority, so they go ahead. Or you could just wait. Luckily for me, the line for just waiting wasn't very long. I was going to make a BB-8 replica, but then I was like, but I want to personalize it and like make it my own. But I didn't like the purple, and I didn't like the other ones. I knew I wanted BB-8's head. Like I knew I wanted that white head. Yeah, so I decided to just do the inverse colors with the orange with white instead of white with orange. I was so happy to do that. I finally got to do it because it was either, I told you, Jared, that before I went, it was either I'm going to make a lightsaber or I'm going to make a droid. Not both at the same time, but one or the other. So I decided to get the droid bit out of the way so that if we all go at some point, it'll be more special that all of us make a lightsaber together and whatnot. Plus money, I didn't have enough money to do it, and I didn't feel like waiting in the lines. So
that all very valid. And again, like my cousin and I just barely got in there to make the lightsabers too. Like it was such a close call that like
yeah.
I forget that, and like whenever you were talking about it, I was like, oh, like I'm trying to like map my visit onto like this most recent one. And every time I think about it for more than 5 seconds, I'm like, Pearson, I would not have fucking survived it. We built our lightsabers while they were basically doing the theme park version of Last Call, where it was like, this is the last wave of people going on rides. This is the last group of people coming in the shops, throwing people out.
So,
so close.
And when we got there, I kind of knew that I wasn't going to make a lightsaber this time just because of how the pacing was going of the weekend and how Haley was being and how her uncle was acting. I just knew it wasn't going to happen. It's unfortunate. But after I made my droid, Travis wanted to go and find a little something for himself.
So, because I knew, like, even before we got there, I was like, I think trying to make a saber would have been too much effort because I knew you had to schedule it and stuff. And I knew in my head, I thought the Legacy sabers were less expensive and I knew you could just buy a hilt. I was worried about getting the blades on the plane because we flew Spirit.
Blades on the plane?
Yeah. Like, we flew Spirit and we didn't take a check bag. We both only took the free carry-on. Yeah. So I was like, these blades that are 3 feet long will not fit in my 20-inch bag. And my mom and Haley both were like, I think they mail you stuff. Like, I think they can mail you.
Yeah, you can.
But in my head, I'm like, I'll just buy the hilt, maybe a display thing. And that'll run me. In my head, I was like, that'll run me like $120. That's fine. And I got up to the cabinet, and all of just the hilts were $125 to $160, right? Like, it depended on which one you wanted.
So I just want to say real quick, and I said this whenever I built my Savvy's Workshop saber, that is such a good price. Oh, yeah. Like, in the pantheon of lightsabers, with how detailed those are, and like, how they're all flash on class, they're all detachable blades. That is a steal.
Yeah. And I don't know where I saw or heard, because it was not any of us. Like, I think in my head, I like assumed based on prices of other things that, like, if you got just like Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber hilt, it would run you like $80. And that got you, and maybe they were when they first started, I don't know. But like I said, they were all $120 to $150. And then if you got the blade and the display thing, it would run you, your total would end up being over $200.
Those cool boxes cost extra.
No, it comes in the box, but like the blade and the display rack.
Oh,
like
okay.
The actual rack for it.
Okay.
Not the box. The boxes are what they come in. The box, well, I'll get there. So I get up. There was a line for these things, I tell you. I get up to the counter, and the guy's like, yeah, I can show you 3 before you have to make a decision. I can't show you the Darksaber. And I thought that meant they were sold out. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And he goes, oh, no, we have them. And I'm looking at all the hilts they have, and we missed Cal's by like 2 weeks because they're getting Cal Kestis' lightsaber. But I think it comes out, because they said fall of 2021. And I was like, we might make it. We might just make it. And we just missed it. So I'm looking at them, and like they have Ben's, which I'd like Kylo, but not that much. And, you know, they have all the classic ones. And I'm like, none of these are really, really speaking to me. And then I asked him, I'm like, I also have the credit to my name now of making a Galaxy's Edge employee break character. Because I asked him, like, can you do shipping for these? He's like, yeah, of course we can. Like, that's not a problem. It'll be an upcharge, no big deal. And I'm like, good. Because, see, we flew Spirit, and he immediately broke down laughing.
Oh, hello.
He was just like, why? Like, he covered his mouth trying not to laugh out loud at me.
Younglings.
Like, yeah, he was like, why would you do that to yourself? And I'm like, look, man, it worked. We got here. And he's like, yeah, but we can totally do that. And I'm like, okay, well, then I guess I'll take one of these.
Here you go, full screen. Here you go, full screen. Hold on. Oh, it's so beautiful.
He owns Mandalorians now.
Indeed.
Yeah. Travis is the Mandalore.
Spencer has to fight you now.
Yeah, I just imagine that, like,
he's gonna kick open the door with his orange lightsaber, and it's just gonna be the Darth Maul Pre Vizsla fight from Clone Wars.
I just imagine it's like, because I cosplayed Poe. The Poe's just hanging around, and Din walks past him, and he's like, "Say you fought me. I fought you. Here, you win it. Bye." And he walks away, and he's like, "Some crazy Mandalorian chick's coming after you. Bye," and just leaves. And Poe's just there, like, "I got a cool sword."
One of my favorite like meta jokes about the Mandalorian is that Din Djarin has never seen Star Wars.
That's the best way to describe
He's just
it.
so oblivious to everything. Where it's like, what's a Jedi? The Empire? What's this? Who are you? Like Din Djarin has never seen Star Wars, so the idea that he just goes,
This guy looks competent.
Yeah, this guy with the orange ball looks like he knows what the hell's going on here. Not realizing he's given it to one of the most chaotic people in the galaxy.
But yeah, so I own that now. It was
Hit it one more time for the one time. Oh.
They told me a week to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I assumed like by sometime in the middle of next week, I would get this in the mail. I went to start making my lunch today and heard a knock on my door at like 2 in the afternoon. And I'm like, who the hell is at my door at 2 in the afternoon? And I walk over and it's the UPS guy walking away. And I look and there's just this massive box laying against my house. And I was like, it has come early.
Oh, that's so funny. And it's cute because like Alexis was kind of giving me like a quick and dirty about the Disney stuff the other day. And like your rationale for getting the Darksaber, I think, is very adorable.
Because I got in through Force Unleashed and the Black Saber was the coolest shit ever. And this is the closest thing we're ever going to get. So.
Oop. Yeah, don't cut my head off. We might get break YouTube TOS if you behead me on air.
I beg to differ.
Sorry, I was scarfing down a Pop-Tart. But
A worthy cause.
Yes.
I like to shoot. There we go. It's very samurai-esque too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is neat, and that's like your vibe. Both of y'all's vibe, but like your vibe. It's just, it makes sense why you picked it.
Yeah.
Over anything else. My tooth hurts so bad. So the tooth next to where I got my wisdom tooth out is starting to hurt excruciatingly now, and I'm hoping I'm not having a Joel situation. If you don't know, I guess he had some issues with his teeth after he got his wisdom teeth out. But my mom called. This is like a side story. I'm sorry. My mom called the dentist and was like, anytime she eats anything sweet or drinks anything cold, it's like she's being stabbed in the face. They just think that the gums didn't close up good enough, so the nerve and like the root of my other tooth is a little bit exposed. So things are touching down there, and it's hurting so bad. So I have to like eat on the right side of my face instead of the left. And I don't know when I'm gonna get home to get that fixed. So That's great.
Hope
Anyway.
it feels better.
Thank you. So after he got
after my purchase.
His big boy purchase.
After Travis became the Mandalore.
Also, the line for the sabers was longer than the line to make a droid.
Yeah,
and it was mostly because of Travis. Tell them.
Oh my God, yeah. Several people I watched do this. They could show you 3 hilts and they would put the blade in, demonstrate, and let you play around with it a little bit. Several people went up, looked at 3 hilts, and then didn't buy one.
So much time, and then just didn't buy one.
Like, I saw people playing with, so a lot of people looking at mauls. Was by the time, because you could buy a single or double maul. If you bought the double maul with blades, it was like $400.
Yeah.
Which made sense, but still, that's insane. But just so many people went up. I think Ahsoka's might have just hit 2, because I saw a lot of people with what I assumed was Ahsoka's sabers. Were looking at them because they had the color switch.
Yeah.
And then they would just, okay, thank you, and walk off. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you son
I
of
would
a
have gone to jail.
Yeah.
I would have gone to jail. If I was waiting in line to get myself a goddamn lightsaber.
It's like, what are you doing? Like, why
I'm chasing
are you
all
even
of them down with it.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense if they were
they should
trying
have
to
a
figure
display
out
set up.
You're right.
Away from the case, just to look at. Because that was part of the problem. I kept wanting to go up and look at the case, but everyone was I couldn't tell if there was a line or not until finally an employee saw me kind of, and she's like, "Are you trying to get in line to buy lightsaber?" I'm like, "Yes." And she goes, "It starts over there." I'm like, "Thank you so much." And I went over.
Bright Suns, thank you.
But yeah, that was frustrating, but I'm glad it got here in one piece very quickly. All the things. The shipping wasn't even that bad. The shipping was $17.
Hot damn!
Yeah. Which I've paid
shipping that I pay on Ultra Sabers.
Yeah, I've paid more for shipping that has taken 3 times as long.
Oh yeah. But it was a nice short experience in Galaxy's Edge. I wanted to stay longer. Haley knew that was one of the main destinations for us, but she still took over and made us leave.
I think if we had been more privy, because we did eventually split up. I think if we had been more cognizant of the fact that we could bus around as much as we could, and how frequently the buses came, I think we would have split up a lot earlier, and just been like, "Hey, we're gonna."
I felt bad to do it because she wanted to so badly show me stuff that I didn't get to see the last time I was in Disney. But there was some things that we probably shouldn't have done together, that we could have not done together. Even though I am happy I got to see some stuff, things I wasn't planning on seeing. I know the last time I was at Galaxy's Edge, I was with...
Accidentally opened Bombadcast live stream. I apologize.
Last time I was
cameo
in Disney,
from Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry. Again, for the 5th time. The last time I was at Disney, I was there visiting Haley, but she was working, so we couldn't hang out. So I went with my friend Billy, all of our friend Billy, and he lives in Florida. But we kind of did a speed run. We had a weekend, and we didn't know what we were doing, and didn't have anybody to show us around like Haley was this time. Because at that point, that was my first time being there, and Billy's. So we just kind of meandered the parks and, didn't ride a thing. Even though we could have, because we didn't know that we had fast passes. And we were like, we're just not going to wait in line, so we're not going to ride anything. Well, we could have, because we could have used our fast passes. But anyway, the first time I saw Galaxy's Edge was at night, which was really cool. but none of the characters were out. The lines were really long because this was during New Year's, which was probably another stupid time to go. Each time I've been to Disney, so the first time I went was during New Year's / Christmas. The second time was right before the pandemic started. And the third time was this past Labor Day. So at least the last time I was there, it was colder there, not 90 degrees. But again, I digress. What I was getting at was that this time I saw Ray. I saw the character actor for Ray, and I was very happy about it because last time I didn't see any character actors. And Chewie was there too, but actually that's a lie because I did get my picture taken with Chewie last time. But I got to see Ray, and that's my homegirl, as everybody knows. So that was fun. And on our way out from Hollywood Studios, we were going to meet Haley at the front of the park. We were supposed to go see, I forget what it's called, but it's like Beauty and the Beast show. And we didn't get to do it because there wasn't enough time, even though I was told we were going to do it. But we didn't. And also, if you don't know, Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite princess movies. She's my favorite Disney princess. Besides all of the others, Ariel and
Leia
and Merida and Jasmine and everybody else. Aurora, too, is one of my favorites. But I passed out. I finally passed out. I didn't pass all the way out, but I was feeling it. And I started having a severe panic attack. It was pretty bad. And Haley was kind of irritated at me for it. I know I'm making Haley sound like a horrible friend. She's not a horrible friend, but like when she's at Disney and in Disney mode, like she's a robot. She's literally a robot because that's her place and that's where she loves to be. And I don't blame her for it, but she did tell me prior to coming to Florida, because I told her if I have a panic attack at any point, I'm going to have to go back to the hotel room. And she's like, oh, that's fine. You can just take my magic band and like get into the room, whatever. So the time comes that I'm having a panic attack and almost passing out and I need to go back to the hotel room. And she gets a little bit irritated at me and is saying, because we were supposed to go to Epcot next, I can't give you my magic band because I need to go to Epcot. Okay, so, like, are you going to take me to the hotel and open the door for me? No. So, I don't know whether she thought I was overreacting, but I was literally, like, I could not. I had zero sleep, nothing to eat that day because of her telling us not to eat anything until we get to Epcot. I tried drinking water, but it was just too freaking hot. So they wheeled me out. Travis wheeled me out in a wheelchair that they got for me, and Haley left. She left to go to Epcot. She did have a friend waiting for her at Epcot that she was going to meet up with as well, so I don't blame her for not sticking around, but I literally told her, I'm not staying here. I'm not going to Epcot yet. I'm going back to the hotel, and I don't care if I'm sleeping in the lobby. I have to go back because I can't function. So we did that, and luckily that same morning, we got put on their reservation so that we can get the bus from the hotel that they provide to the airport, because Haley couldn't take us to the airport on Monday because she had a reservation to go to a restaurant at the Polynesian, which I'm a little irritated with because she assumed that we would have a ride to the airport for some reason, which was a little shitty, but whatever. But thank God we did that, because then Travis was able to talk them into giving us an extra key card for the room, and we got into the room, and I passed out, and he passed out. We got Popeye's chicken. We watched SpongeBob. I slept. And
very much, I was in, because I'm in like, just get her in the room, make sure she gets down to go to sleep. She's going to be, get her some food. It'll be fine. And then she went, you should take a nap too. And I'm like, no, I'll be.
Yeah. He passed out.
Unconscious for like an hour immediately. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I am tired.
So we woke up. We felt refreshed. We ate. We had something to drink. We, again, slept. And I get a text message around 7:30 from Haley telling me that she was coming back to the room if I wasn't coming to Epcot. And I said, well, I'm on my way to Epcot. Let me preface this. Right now is Epcot's Food and Wine Festival, and I think I mentioned that before. I was so stoked to do this because I wanted to eat around the world. I wanted to drink around the world. I wanted to get pictures in the different countries. I wanted to spend my time at Epcot. Well, because I passed out and because I got there late, we couldn't do that because it closes at 10, and we got there around 7:30, 8 o'clock. It was dark already, so it's not like we could have gotten decent pictures. Haley was ready to leave, so she didn't really want to be there anymore. And I'm really, really disappointed because I missed out. There was another thing I wanted to do there, and it was the Remy from Ratatouille scavenger hunt that Haley kept hyping up the whole time. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Well, she did it without me. And at the end, you can get a bowl as a prize. They had a Belle one, a Remy one, and a Figment one. And if you know who Figment is, he's kind of the mascot for Epcot. He's a dragon. So when we got there, they didn't mention the scavenger hunt. I didn't know that they did it until after we left. Because I thought that they just didn't do it because I wasn't there. But that's quite the opposite. They did it without me. And I didn't ask when I got there because I thought it was over. I thought the scavenger hunt was only during like the first couple hours of the festival. No, apparently it went on until the end of the night, but I didn't know and I missed out on it, and I was really upset because I wanted my Belle Bowl. And Haley tells me after we leave, oh yeah, the scavenger hunt goes on all night. And I'm like, nobody told me. And how was I supposed to know? So I was really, really upset over that. I didn't get to do much in Epcot at all. The last time I was in Epcot with Billy, it was packed, as if it wasn't packed this past weekend, but it was really packed during the holidays. And Billy and I went up the one side, so that was like Canada, the UK, and up to like Morocco, and then we left. So this time I thought we were going to go up the other side, Mexico and China and all the stuff on the left-hand side. No, I still didn't get to see the left side of Epcot, and I was very upset, but I made sure Travis got to see Italy, and I made sure he got to see Japan. And
clutch on that one. Good job.
And then we met up with Haley, and we watched the fireworks, and then we left. But I am still very upset that I didn't get to experience the Food and Wine Festival like I wanted to. But there's always next year, or the year after that, or the year after that.
And like I said, we were watching some videos before, and it's like scaled back this year because of the pandemic.
No, so you would have gotten like a diet version anyway.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not too upset, but I still like, this was my one chance currently, like recent times, to do it.
Yeah.
And I still didn't get to do it.
You'll get a shot of redemption at it soon.
I also, because I'm graduating in December, and I forgot to bring it with me, my graduation cap with the Mickey ears that my mom got me, I wanted to bring that so I could get pictures. I forgot to bring it, and we didn't get any pictures. So that's a bummer. And but Travis got a neat Mickey Mouse Italy shirt.
Yeah, that was neat.
And a pin that he gave his mother. And we went into Mitsukoshi, which is a little market convenience store that everybody hypes up and says is like the biggest store.
It's this little hideaway thing. You wouldn't know it. It's just
they hype it up by saying that it's a little hideaway store that can't be found, but it's like in the middle of Japan, and
it's
like
we were watching TikToks.
Shop.
Disney people on TikTok are hilarious.
Well, Disney people in general are hilarious.
Yeah.
Because Haley was even saying this little hideaway store called Mitsukoshi. I don't know if you heard about it. And I was like, yes, Haley, I've heard about it. Like, just because you worked there doesn't mean I don't know about things. But anyway, Mitsukoshi is like the only store in the Japan pavilion. So it's not a hideaway thing. Also, they made it sound like it had more to offer than it did. And it didn't have a huge selection. I thought it was going to have a huge selection. It did not. I did get this cool fan, though. You see?
It's a cool fan.
Cool fan. And they were selling Pokemon cards, and Travis wanted to buy some. But he couldn't because the other person in our party already bought some. So it's like 2 packs per party or something like that.
So the other friend that Haley met there bought cards and then came and talked to me. Or no, doesn't matter. Another person that was like in the circle of people that were roaming
in our group.
Yeah. And so I went up to buy packs. And I was like, can I get a pack of Pokemon cards? Like 2 per party. And at first I thought that meant I had to buy 2. They're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll take 2 then. Like, no, you were talking to that guy, right? I was like,
they assumed that just because he talked to my friend Jordan's boyfriend, that they were in the same party. After the fact, Sean is his name. Sean was like, you should have just said that this random drunk guy was talking to me, and like,
I don't fucking know that guy.
I don't know that guy. Like, that's what we should have done, but
I also had just bought a Darksaber that day, and I needed to save $7. So
yeah, he didn't need to buy it. So
it worked out.
Yeah.
That's why
other
the
than that,
lightsaber
though,
was my final purchase, because I was like, after I buy the light, if I did the lightsaber in the middle of the day, I wouldn't have bought another thing after that. But I had this meticulous budget in my head throughout the day where I was like, this is the max amount of shit I could buy in Galaxy's Edge before I buy a lightsaber.
I wanted to buy another Porg really bad, but the Porg that was like this big was $25. $25 for something this big? No. And then I was gonna buy a stuffed animal Loth cat, but that was $50, and I was like, I just spent $200 on a droid, so
yeah.
No, I can't do that. But anyway, moral of the story, make sure everybody in your group is on the same page, has enough food and water in their system, has enough sleep. Make sure
only do
that
one park per day.
Only do 1 park per day. Make sure you have a week to do it if you go with anybody except yourself, because if I would have went by myself, or if I would have went with just Travis, it would a weekend would have been manageable. But having 6 people in your group with 2 days and everybody wants to get to what they want to do, it's not going to happen. And I don't know why Haley thought we were going to be able to do it. And I love her very much, but she definitely underestimated the power of time. And it was great. It was still fun. I still had a lot of fun. Wish I would have had more time in the hotel because it had a pool, and she said to bring a swimsuit, but we never touched that pool. I never even saw it. I don't even know where it's at.
That's one of the planning things I didn't understand, because she had told me I brought a swimsuit. I can't swim, but I can sit in a pool. But in my head, when she's telling me this, I'm like, so we get there and we're going to 2 shopping districts. And then we're going to the park from dawn to dusk and then going to the park again from dawn to dusk.
And then our flight is at 9 a.m. on Monday, you know?
Yeah, like when are we swimming?
Haley, again,
but
don't ask her to plan anything. But
I will say, oh, go ahead.
I still had fun, and that's what matters.
Yeah. I will say, I thought this was going to be a one in, like, because I've never had a want. Like, when I was younger, I had the, like, jealous want of going to Disney. Like, I want the thing the other kids have. And then, as an adult...
Now you're a fucking addict.
Well, as an adult, I was like, if I ever have the money to take, a week serious vacation, I'm not going to go to Disney. I'm going to leave the country. I'm going to go spend it in California, New York, or I'm going to go to Italy, right? Like, I'm going to do something I really want to do. I don't need to go to Disney. And it wasn't even, like, the parks or the stuff, because it's, you know, I went in, the hipster in me went in to be like, I'm going to roast the shit out of Disney. I'm going to roast the shit out of Disney. I'm going to have fun. Like, I'm going to have a good time, but I'm going to roast the shit out of it. It's going to be awesome. There was nothing to roast besides how expensive my bottles of Coke Zero were. Like she said, when we got back from Hollywood Studios, that we couldn't, because they tie it to your band, right, to get into the hotel on property. I went to the desk fully expecting to have to, like, finagle this story about, like, I know we just got added this morning and blah, 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 and here's why it's not, but please just let us into this room.
You thought you were going to have to beg them to give us a space in the inn, you know?
And I got up, and the guy that's helping me is like, hey, what can I help you with? And I'm like, hey, we got added to our friend's reservation this morning, but our bands didn't get activated to get into the room. Can we get that done? So because they're not here, can we get into the room? And he's like, yeah, sure. What's the name under? And I was like, I gave Haley's uncle's name. And he looks, and because they do everything through one system, like the app is connected to their computers and they can see everything we're doing, which is a little big brothery, but also, like, it works. You know, like, they're not looking at my private information.
I'm always watching.
I know when
Literally.
you're sleeping. When he looked, and we're on the reservation. Like, even when we were on the reservation getting added to it, we were in their group in the app, and they immediately were like, okay, yeah, you're good. Like, we can make this work. There was
painless. It was like,
there was never a moment
perfect.
of, are you sure you're not jipping it? Like, the fact that the system worked, and when it didn't work, they trusted us to not be cheating it somehow.
Disney employees and cast members are very pleasant, and they will do whatever it takes to not have dirt on Disney's name. So
I think Disney as a company is also aware of the fact, if they're like, I have a sneeze coming, if we're going to extort you for a good time the way we are, pardon me. Excuse me. If we're going to extort you the way we are going to make sure this shit is like butter.
Yeah.
Because even if it weren't, nobody would go.
No.
You know?
Going into Animal Kingdom, my ticket didn't work at first.
Yeah.
The comp ticket that Haley had lent us. And it was because they had made me a profile before I made my own. And then they swapped it out, but the ticket didn't transfer right. We got up to the gate and they were like, yeah, it's fine now. Like, we got it all working. You're good to go. There was never, ever a moment of you're trying to,
because they could see it on their end. Like,
yeah.
the whole system, like from the app and their, like what they can see everything we're seeing. And it's just like so efficient. It is very efficient. And I know that Disney bleeds us all dry. They own everything, but damn, they make a good time.
Twice a week, we give them free, really good most of the time publicity.
Yeah. Because they own everything. But the thing is, like, if you're a Disney nerd, or a Disney adult or just whatever, like, Disney itself is just, it's fun, I guess, if you're into theme parks, but there's not much of a problem to get stuff accomplished with them, you know?
Yeah.
Besides them taking your money, but
Yeah.
They make sure that you get your money's worth. So
yeah. Well, I remember like there was like I was saying earlier, like my like the lightsaber ceremony I did with my cousin in Savvy's workshop was like we were like the very last one, like I was saying, and it's like a secret one. Like they have like a final one in the night that is off the books for people who kind of show up asking if they can do it, and or people who in some way, shape, or form were like a victim of error on Disney's part. And like that's what had happened was that like the night before, Pierce and I were trying to like set up our appointments to build our lightsabers, and we were going through. It had me through. Like I was literally on like the final step before it was like, you have a thingy, woohoo! And just at that moment, the fucking app crashed, spit us out. I went to get back in. Everything's booked. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, throughout the day, people are going to miss their appointments. You're like there's a way, like when there's a will, there's a way you can make it happen. And first thing we did was went to Savvy's workshop. I went up to the I can't remember her name to save my life. Maybe my cousin would remember, but went right up to the thing. They're like, hey, here's what happened. We're not going to try to like elbow our way into the workshop, but, and you've definitely heard this 1,000 times before, this is kind of the thing we came for. You know, the two lightsaber guys, like we're here to build swords. And immediately, like she went in, talked to whomever was like the more senior of them at Savvy's workshop, came out, and like I said, we're like, okay, like here's this little one that's kind of off the books. You know, that is designed for Galaxy's Edge is brand new, and the app is going to be under a lot of stress, and people are going to get screwed because the app can't handle the stress because we haven't ironed out all the kinks of Galaxy's Edge yet. Like they're incredible up there.
Yeah, or even like for the droid, they were warning us that like she might have needed an appointment, and we get in, and they just had 2 lines. There was like, do you have a reservation or not? Okay, you don't. Go down this line, pay for your droid. They're going to prioritize people with appointments. There was nobody there with appointments, so it was just the one line.
It was like 2 people, which was awesome. So I'm glad I got that out of the way. Because that was like the one thing I wanted to do besides making a saber, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. So I got that done. You got your saber. And I was telling Travis that the next time, if like we go as a group, or it's just another time where it's just Travis and I or something like that, or like you, me, and Billy, this next time, only Hollywood Studios and only Epcot. I love Magic Kingdom, but there's not much there that I feel I'm missing out on.
We have 2 more stories to tell. One mini and
yes,
one funny.
Yes.
I was going to say, bring us home with airplane stories.
Before airplane, I just also want to say,
yes,
I also went in expecting to see a lot of families falling apart at the seams because it's a family vacation. You tend to see that, or just like people being rude or people being not a lot of it, like very.
There were
minimal.
like a few fights between mothers and whatnot, but
like. For the most part, not a lot going on during the day. We went in to see Magic Kingdom's fireworks. Let me tell you, it is just the collection of every awful thing you've ever heard about a theme park, and it might be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen so much stereotype compounded into one place. It was so, within 20 seconds of being in the crowd, someone had tripped over a woman, spilled their entire beer onto this woman, and she just went, Jesus Christ! And then the dude just kept walking, and she's sitting there like this.
She was drenched, and I felt so bad for her.
It was the greatest
I
thing.
love the image I have in my head.
Like the whole day's been going pretty smoothly, and we see that, and I just went,
There
this is what I came for.
This is the magic. This is it. This is the magic. The fireworks were amazing. I've seen them before. It's called Happily Ever After. They are phasing it out, if you didn't know, to bring in a new fireworks show. And Haley was very upset about it because Happily Ever After is her favorite version of the fireworks that they do. And to be honest, I'm a little upset too because it's so beautiful. And with it decorated for the 50th anniversary, it all worked together very nicely. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, next time we're in Disney, I'm prioritizing Galaxy's Edge and Epcot because you need more time in Galaxy's Edge. There's too much to do there.
God, I want to be in the Millennium Falcon with you guys.
I wanted to do Millennium Falcon so bad, and Haley's like, it's not worth it. Like, it's not that great, and blah, blah, blah. We don't have to do it this time. And I'm like, bitch.
I'm going to let one of you assholes fly. I've already flown both sides of it. I want a gun.
So hopefully next time we can do that.
I want a gun.
I want a gun.
I found a weapon.
I wanted to do the Dumbo ride in Magic Kingdom, and we didn't get to do that either. Like, I wanted to do the iconic rides that you see in the commercials and whatever, but I guess I'll do that another time.
Got all the time in the world.
Yeah, it's just they phase stuff out. You know what I mean? So they change rides and they like revamp stuff. So I'm hoping it'll still be there by the time we go.
Oh, there's no way in hell they touch Dumbo.
Yeah, probably not.
That's too iconic.
What else? I was going to say something else that we saw
at the park.
Did. Yeah.
We're going to talk about Spanish grandma trying to steal a baby.
Stop! Shh!
What?
Stop! Whoa. Stop! Travis! Oh, I'm so mad at you. Damn it. I had a bit and everything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. I'm not doing it now. But anyway,
I feel like there's a lot of room to play in that one. What the shit?
I was talking about a ride that we did. That's what I was going to mention. I can't remember what it was now. It doesn't matter, I guess. Anyway, the park was decorated for Halloween, so that was cool. They had pumpkins out everywhere, which I quite liked because I saw it at Christmas time, and now I saw it, all Halloween-y. Anyway, end of the night at Magic Kingdom after the fireworks. We're kind of waiting for everybody else to shuffle out in front of us. I was trying not to fight a bitch because this woman in front of Haley and Haley's much shorter than I am, so she had a hard time seeing the castle and the fireworks, and like they put projections up on the castle of like different Disney characters and stuff, and she couldn't see it because this freaking biatch kept with her phone way up here and couldn't see, and she kept leaning back like onto us. She was touching my face with the back of her head basically. So I gave her a little shove. I gave her a little push, and she still didn't freaking move. They also spoke only Spanish. So I was about to swear at her in Spanish, but I did not. I refrained. So that was part of it. But anyway, everybody's shuffling out. I have to go to the bathroom. I get away from that other biatch. We're good, right? Well, I go into the bathroom and I hear a screaming baby, right? Sounds like a newborn. Why you bring a newborn to a theme park in 90-degree heat? I don't know.
During a pandemic.
I do not know. I have no idea. Most of the people in the parks were wearing masks, but a lot of them weren't. It was about 50-50. So
that's nice.
Better than expected.
Anyway, better than expected, yes. I myself kept giving my nose some room to take some breaths, and then I put it back up. I am guilty of lowering my mask a little bit from time to time, but I could not breathe at all. So I am very sorry, and I'm vaccinated, and I'm not sick. So, anyway,
You've done your part.
I did my part. I go into the stall. The baby and the mother is next to me in the like other stall, the bigger stall. Kid is screaming, and no wonder, it is hot. It is hot. I come out of the stall. The mother is outside of my stall with the stroller. She is a white woman. Let me tell you that she's a white woman. This baby, though, I was a little bit afraid because its face was really red and it was screaming and it just looked not good because it was really hot and whatever. There was another shorter woman, Hispanic woman, standing next to her. And it looks like they're having a little bit of a tiff, little altercation here. I was ignoring it. At first, I thought they knew each other. They did not. After I learned that the old Hispanic woman cannot speak English. She cannot speak English. She is purely only speaking Spanish. And this white lady also cannot speak Spanish and only speaks English. So there was a language barrier here. There was really nobody else in the bathroom, but I'm washing my hands and I'm keeping an eye on them and I'm trying to understand what this woman is saying. For those of you who don't know, I took many years of Spanish and I am also Spanish a little bit, partly, so I can kind of get the gist of conversations a little bit. So I'm trying really hard to understand what this woman is saying. And she just keeps on asking this white lady if she's okay, if the baby's okay, and if she needs her to, like, if she needs her help and all this stuff. But the white lady's not understanding what this woman is saying at all. And she's not being very aggressive as a mother. She's probably a new mother. That baby looked really young. So she's not telling this lady to back the frick off of me and my child. So she's kind of just like daintily telling her, please stop. Like, I've got this handled. I got to go find my husband. I'll handle this when I find my husband. I need to go find my husband. But the Spanish lady doesn't understand because she doesn't speak English. Again, I'm standing. I'm lingering over the sink because I'm already done washing my hands. I'm just trying to see what's going on here in case I have to try to step in or translate or speak Spanish or do something here to help or call somebody. So the Spanish lady picks the baby up out of the stroller. I thought she was going to run out the door with this kid. She doesn't. But she's
good.
Talking to the baby, patting its back, talking like baby talk to it in Spanish. I don't know what she was saying. And she starts singing to it in Spanish and trying to calm the baby down. It is very sweet. And this is a type of thing that culturally, wherever she's from, this is an okay thing to do.
Just
a lot
grab
of the time,
a baby and get involved.
Well, a lot of the time, the grandmothers are very nurturing and she's doing whatever she can to help. But the white lady has no idea what this lady's about to do with her baby. But she's not screaming or anything for help. She's just daintily like, please give me my baby back. Like, I thought she would be yelling, at this woman to
kind of like wait,
give me my freaking baby back.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna like grab the baby from the Spanish lady. She doesn't. She lets this. So it's just very weird that she's not like frantically trying to get her baby back from this woman. The baby does end up back in the stroller, and the white lady vanishes. She's vanishing, but the Spanish lady is like pacing the bathroom, looking very distraught and upset. At first, I thought that this Spanish lady was kind of senile and thinking that baby was her baby type deal. Like, that's not what was happening, but that's what I thought. At least I don't think that's what was happening. But I thought that's what was going to happen. Like, I thought that this old lady was just kooky and not all there and just taking a baby. But she looked like she was trying to talk to other people and like get help, but nobody else was speaking Spanish at that time in there. So I walk out and I kind of like mind my business. If the baby's gone, whatever, not my business. So we get out there and I'm telling Travis and Haley like what I just witnessed in the bathroom. And like 10 feet from us is the Spanish lady and her family. So there's like a man in his like 40s with a stroller and a little girl who's like 4 years old, right? But looks like she's with them. So that looked like it was her granddaughter and her son or something like that. And this lady's crying on the phone. I could see her. She's on the phone crying. And near the bathrooms, police start showing up. One after the other show up. They don't go over to the old lady. They didn't even go over there. They passed her, but they didn't even talk to her or anything. Another bystander who was apparently in the bathroom when I was in the bathroom approached me and she was like, "Did you see what happened in there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And she's like, "Did that white lady try to take that Spanish lady's baby?" And I was like, "Whoa, you have a different story than what I witnessed," because this girl who was talking to me and asking me what happened perceived it as the white woman took the Spanish lady's baby. The way I saw it was that the Spanish lady took the white lady's baby. So I don't know. And I was telling the girl, like, but the white woman was the one with the stroller. So I'm thinking I was right. But the way that these other people saw it, it was the other way around. So I don't know. Nothing ever came from it. I didn't see that baby or the white lady ever again after that. They like vanished. So that was that. I have no idea what was going on with that. That was scary, and I was very confused. So that's the first story. So.
Fun,
indeed. I'm going to go get my Cheetos.
Ooh, good food. Yeah.
I'm going to start talking about our good friend Wade.
Please tell me you're going to bring us out on a high note here.
Just saying. Keep the name Wade in mind. Think of a character or something that kind of reminds you of the name Wade as we tell this story.
I got 2.
So there's nothing of note for the flight back. Like the only thing of note is that we got there like very early, like super on time. Everything's going smoothly, and then our flight got delayed by an hour. Which of course it would, when we're hyper on time. Going there, first of all, I was a little worried because we brought Haley a package from their friend Sydney, which was her bridesmaid gift, and it was in a brown cardboard box, and I was sure they would think it was a bomb. That's not true, but they did search it, but it wasn't a big deal. They were like, "This is a bridesmaid's gift, and you can very much take this on the plane. Have a nice flight." We get to the plane. We get on the plane. Yeah, that's the good stuff. We sit down and we're kind of like, maybe there won't be anybody in the window seat because it's like Lexi in the aisle, me in the middle, open window seat. As soon as we sit down, this girl looks about our age comes and is like, "That's my seat." I'm like, "Cool. At least you're not a weirdo."
Except for the guy behind us.
Yeah, immediately.
Famous last words. At least you're not a weirdo.
The guy comes in, kind of, tall and lanky, kind of skinny, looks a little older. Sits
and bald.
Down. Bald. He's on the phone, and he's shouting on the phone because we're like right on the wing of the plane. And he's talking to his friend on the phone about how he has the best view. This is great. He's never flown before, blah, blah, blah. Very loud man. Very loud.
Yeah.
Keeps not like reaching over and tapping the girl who's in our space to talk to her. Like, "Hey, look out your window. Look at the clearly. Hey.
Look at this view. Look at this view. I got the best view in town. I got the best seat in town." And he's also trying to talk to the people behind him. Yeah. And at first it kind of sounded like he knew them, but he didn't. He didn't know anybody.
Absolutely did not.
He was by himself,
He
just
was
talking.
Just friendly. He was just friendly.
He was
intoxicated.
Yeah. So we start the flight. He was quiet.
Next time I'm getting drunk on an airplane. That's what's happening.
That sounds like a bad idea.
I'm getting drunk on a plane.
I'm gonna sleep pee on the plane.
I'm begging you not to.
I would never create a situation where that was possible.
You weren't gonna ever pee in Joel's family room, but you did. So
here we are.
Again, as per Joel's wishes,
never say never.
Story is slowly getting doled out, like one small nugget at a time. So now people know that it happened. It's a weirder story than you think it is. Continue.
So, like, going up, he's talking a lot, shouting on his phone, but then he has to turn his phone off because you don't get signal on the plane, right? The hour and change we're going. Yes.
He's on his way to Miami. He's meeting his friends in Miami. This is what I gathered from the phone call. He also kept saying something about leaving that biatch back home or something like that. So I don't know if he had a wife or something, but he kept talking about some bitch back home. I don't know.
That's pleasant.
Carry on.
So they make the call that we're going to start the initial descent. So you have to get up, use the bathroom if you want to, and after that you're locked in. You can't get back up. So the girl next to us gets up, goes out to the bathroom, and he immediately...
Wait, is this on the way down, you're saying?
This is the flight to Florida. We're beginning our descent. So, it's going to be about another 50 minutes till we're...
Okay.
Before we land.
When?
Okay,
I wasn't sure we were landing in Florida.
Okay, I didn't realize that we were, jumping ahead to right before landing. Okay.
Yeah. Because nothing...
Okay.
Are you going to talk about the mushroom clouds?
Was he... Oh, when he was talking about the
clouds.
The clouds outside. I didn't hear a lot of that.
He was just saying that they look like mushroom clouds. They look like explosions and just the shape of the clouds.
Pleasant. Yeah, that makes sense. Because as the girl next to us gets
Isn't
up
it fun when we meet somebody else's mic?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else's something, that's for sure. He reaches over and taps me on the shoulder. And he's like, dude, look out the window. And I'm thinking I'm going to see fucking Superman flying beside the plane. And he's like, look at that view. And I'm like, those are clouds. My guy. Immediately, I get up to use the bathroom. And I can tell that the bathroom is locked, but I just want to get out of the fucking seat. So I come back. We're all seated now. The belts have to come on. We're starting our descent. As we hit the runway, the wheels kind of start running a little bit. You know that. And he starts shouting. You hear them dogs under the plane?
What the fuck?
You hear them dogs?
He goes, oh, oh. He's like, that sounds like a German Shepherd.
Then, because the engines start powering down, right? So they make this really high-pitched humming. And he's like, yeah, you hear that? You hear that? It's just,
No joke, Jared. No joke.
I'm not doing a bit. He wasn't he was just going, just like that.
The girl next to us, she was awesome. Because we all three of us started looking at each other and laughing. She and I were crying, making jokes. I kept saying, happening. I gotta go. And she's dying of laughter because I was making her laugh because I'm funny. It was
just a bottle of vodka rolled under the chair to my feet.
Yes. It was like this big. And I was like, could I have that as a souvenir? And they both started dying. Travis and this girl were dying.
I think
she's
didn't we leave it in the chair? Didn't we leave it in the little...
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I would have kept it.
Because she asked us, she's like, can you come off the plane with us? So just in case, because she was a little bit creeped out by this guy. We were like, yeah, of course, that's fine. And he darted off. He was the first one off the plane. He darted off the plane. He like ran. So she didn't have anything to worry about. He was on his way to get and freaking devastated in Miami.
As we landed, because he got off. But as we're landing, his cell service is back. He immediately gets on the fucking phone again. And you heard this, I didn't. If you would like to.
He's on the phone, right? Telling whoever he's meeting that he touched down, right? Talking really loud. Tells the person behind him, it's Keith on the phone. I'm talking to Keith. I'm talking to Keith. And this guy goes, dude, I don't care. And they were like shushing him and telling him to shut up. It was really funny.
I wouldn't know how to act. I'm trying to be like, how would I handle this?
But the whole time, Travis,
I would have egged him on.
Did you hear him say when we're passing over? Because we were already in Florida by that point. Like if you looked out the window and you looked down, you could see Orlando. But he kept saying it was Scottsdale, and we were flying over like Pittsburgh. He kept naming all these local places near us that, hey, look, it's Scottsdale. But it's Orlando. And I don't know whether he was joking or he was serious.
He had to have been. Like, it had to be one of those, like, I'm drunk and I'm making a funny kind of things.
I really think he thought they were German Shepherds under the plane, though. I think he thought those were dogs. I shit you not. I swear to God, the way he was talking about, do you hear those dogs? They like me or something, because every time he barked, it was a coincidence that the plane's wheels squeaked and like boom, so it did kind of sound like dogs, but it wasn't a dog.
I just love the idea of this man just going full DMX on the airplane for no reason.
It was terrifying, and he kept asking the flight attendant for more alcohol. Like, he's like, can you bring back a couple more? And they were kind of like,
he explicitly ordered a double shot of something at one point.
Travis, crab rangoons.
Yeah. So while he's on the phone and he's talking to someone, and I swear to God,
glad this is the guy from the tweet. I was gonna say, like, okay, good.
Yeah, I swear to God, I heard him say into his phone, I can't believe you have crab rangoon in your pocket. I'm sure that's not what he said. I'm sure those were not the exact words.
Are you positive?
No. That very well could have been something he said, and I don't know what that means. I don't. But I heard
the guy just had crab rangoons in his pocket.
Also,
that's gonna be our new code word anytime we're taking something somewhere it shouldn't go. Like next Camp T-Nap when we're like moving the alcohol, like, hey, I'm bringing in the crab rangoons. Like,
the pocket rangoon.
The pocket rangoons are inbound.
I wish I knew who that girl was, because obviously she was from Latrobe or something. Like, at least from our area. I want to befriend her. But she was telling us that she heard him say to her that he had cancer and was partying his butt off in Miami. His name's Wade.
So you met Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And he was just, I think, going down to Miami to just party it up. And
no, I have a couple theories.
Okay, hold on. So we're meeting a cancer patient named Wade who's partying his ass off, who's acting irresponsibly, who's also hearkening back to DMX.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Yes.
Now, I'm not
He was not real,
sure
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we were intoxicated.
So, as we land, we get off the plane. Lexi, like, I need to use the bathroom. We're like, cool. There's a bathroom right next to the gate.
We saw him coming out of the bathroom when we were getting on the plane.
No, I saw him. You were still in the bathroom. I saw him come out of the bathroom.
But that wasn't when we were, this was landing. When we were coming back to Latrobe.
We saw him both. I saw him both times.
Okay, but tell that then.
Because you went into the bathroom and I'm waiting out there with the bags. and he comes shooting out of the men's restroom. And I immediately, I'm like, this man cannot recognize me, or he will start talking to me, and I might get like a secondhand meth high. And I immediately like,
you're making him sound like Kramer.
He basically was.
And she comes out, and I'm like, I saw him again. He's real. She's like,
and he's like darting it down that way. Fast forward now to us getting onto the plane to come back to Latrobe, to come back to Pennsylvania. We see him again. Well, I just got done saying to Travis, I hope to God he's not on this flight. I hope we're not sitting next to him. This time he comes barreling through with a giant leather bag, like a giant leather duffel bag, and I'm just thinking he has like either cash or drugs in it or something.
Yes,
because he didn't have that. I don't think he had that when he left, unless it was under the plane and it was like
with the dogs,
with the dogs. But I did not see him with that when we got there. I didn't see him with
it either.
Oh my God!
So I don't know, but what
there's a part of me. There's a part of me that thinks he actually missed, like he was supposed to be on our plane, because what had happened was we got there, and then
what if he was supposed to be in that seat next to us?
That's what I'm thinking right now too.
On our way back, there was nobody else in the seat next to us.
It was just the two of us.
And he wasn't on the plane. He wasn't on the plane.
So we get there. They delayed the flight, right? They delayed our flight by about an hour. And then we're sitting there, and then they make a call that we're changing gates. And it was across the hallway. Like, we weren't going far. It was literally 31 to 30. And they do that, and they had moved it up again another hour, so it was going to be like 11:30. They moved it back to 10:30, and they're like, your flight's still at 10:30, go to the gate 30. And we're like, okay. And we're sitting, and she goes, I really hope Wade isn't on. Like, I hope we don't see this guy again. I hope he's not near us or next to us. But given our luck, that's what's about to happen. And he shoots down the hallway. And we're like, oh my God.
You summoned him.
And he immediately turns to the gate 31, the gate we were supposed to go to originally. And so I think he might have just missed the flight. Like, there's a non-zero
Wait, how
chance.
did you see him then? What? I mean,
when he
how did he miss it if we were already?
But he went to the wrong gate. When we were sitting in the hallway waiting for the flight, and he passed us, he turned
and went to the gate that you were originally meant for. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they either told him something, or he interpreted it wrong, or he was just going somewhere else.
So as we were boarding, he was sitting in the other gate still, is what you're saying? I don't know, but he wasn't on our flight. No. He didn't get home, so I don't know. I mean, if he is sick and has cancer and all that, like, God bless him, but also, like, don't act like that on a plane with a bunch of people and creeping out the 20-something-year-old girls in the seats in front of you and acting a fool. Like, go have your time in Miami, but why? Why be like this? Why are you the way that you are?
I want to meet Wade.
Like, yeah, the mic thing is kind of... He's somebody else's mic, but also... He might
Mike also knows not to do that in fucking public.
Yeah.
Like, in a confined space.
This man's brain was fried, I think. It was not existing.
Mike would not turn around and do Jared is the father of Enoch or ride the eyes of the dragon and then tell me who you think you are. Like what?
I don't think Mike would be barking out loud on a plane.
He wouldn't do that at a stranger.
Yeah. Yes. He wouldn't do it at a stranger. I've told you guys this separately. I've had dreams that like content creators sometimes do get like the cool ass like red carpet invites to like, you know, nerd shit. And I've had thrice now this dream where we get invited to like a Marvel movie premiere and we lose Mike. Like we're on the red carpet and like doing the thing, and it's like, and all of us kind of collectively at the same time go, "Hey, did you see where Mike went?" And he's like, it always ends with him like being Mike at William Bibiani. Like it consistently ends with him doing some weird Mike shit at Bibbs. And like me, like death grip on you, like we're about to get blackballed because he's about to like attack. Mike, stop! But and then I hear shit like this, and it's like, you know what? He would never do that to a stranger.
Yep.
He would never do that to a stranger. He only feels that safe around us.
I think he would tell one of his weird dreams to somebody, but I don't think he would bark at somebody or, you know. But anyway, yeah, Florida. That man, he might not have. Maybe he was from Florida, and that's why it explains it. Like he could be a Florida man. You know the Florida man stories. Like I said, I was born in Tampa. I'm so glad I didn't grow up in Florida. Sometimes I'm just like, thank God my mom was originally from PA, that she wanted so badly to come back up north, because I feel like Lexi could have become very, very ratchet and very, very methed out.
I don't know if you would have been a meth head, but the
no, not
Florida
actually,
energy.
but like that's what it is. It's in the air. Meth is in the air in Florida. Like you can't escape it. Not that I would become a drug addict.
I've been holding it for like 40 minutes. You cannot hit me with the meth is in the air on a full bladder. That almost ended in tragedy.
Because I'm trying, like, because of how I turned out already a like decent person. I'm pretty sure I still would have turned out a decent person because I probably would have been raised the same way, but like just add a little Florida spice, if you catch my drift.
Join us as we ponder the question, what if?
Yeah.
Is that all you guys got this week?
I think so. I think that was it. I don't know if there's anything else.
All right.
We spent almost 2 hours talking about Disney and Wade. So, do you have anything?
Mike took that big L. Oh yeah, Hella Megatour. We never got a chance to talk about Hella Megatour on campus.
People at Disney were wearing shirts. People at Disney were wearing Hella Megatour shirts. Some kid approached us.
I wore my Green Day shirt. One of the days, and he asked me what show we went to, and also like a couple of the people like vending the restaurants and stuff asked me. They were like, "Oh, cool shirt. When'd you go?
Which show did you go to? Yeah. You know, that kind of stuff."
We were the one where they summoned the rain from the heavens.
Pardon. Yeah,
cool
freaking Weezer was singing Africa, and it started raining at our concert, so that was lit. Also personal life. I'm probably going to be doing research stuff in a lab, and they asked me to do podcast stuff for them, so I can't escape the podcast things.
Nope. Congratulations, you just added another show to the network.
Yeah.
Lexi doing anthro stuff. We're workshopping the name.
Where I can't swear, and I have to be professional, but it's fine. So that's that.
I'm developing Spencer's allergy to the studio.
Yeah.
He has this issue where like he'll be like he hits a like it's around the same time anytime he's in here where he just kind of hits a wall where like his allergies just activate, and now it's happening to me too, and I hate it.
Rest in peace.
I need to start popping Claritins or Zyrtex before I come in here.
I should have brought my pins. I didn't bring my pins. I bought some Disney pins. If y'all know what pin trading is, I've never pin traded, but I bought some pins so I can pin trade next time. But I've become attached to the pins, so I don't think I'm going to be trading them. But I got a cute.
That's why I don't do that shit. I'll get attached.
Yeah, I got a cute Tigger one, a cute Scamp one, which is the son of Lady and Tramp, and I got a cute heart-shaped one that the one side is Sarabi and the other one's Mufasa, and at the tip of the heart is Simba, and it's really cute. It looks like a family portrait. Sorry. Can't talk. I'm getting tired. It's like 11. Yeah. Thank you to this Disney trip. I am starting to go to bed early now. So that's true. Good.
That's good.
It did reset me.
That's good to hear. Well, with that, I want to keep you out of bed for too much longer. So, Lexi, where can the lovely people find you, my friend?
You can find me drinking from this mug eventually here at Lexi Lion 98 on Twitter and Acapella 98 on Instagram. And is it Lexi Lion 98 on TikTok?
That sounds right.
I think it's the same as my Twitter. So Lexi Lion 98 for Twitter and TikTok. Acapella 98 for Instagram. Yeah. My hair's red again. I got my hair did. The lighting is weird right now, so I don't know if you could see it. Plus, the sun in Florida kind of faded it, and I'm really mad about it, but whatever. So.
Yes, Lexi Lion 98 is correct. Travis, where?
Do you spell Mandalore with an E at the end or not?
Are we talking the planet or like the title?
The title.
I'll spell check that for you.
Thank you. You can find the tweet I'm about to make with that word in it, which you would have seen like a week ago, at Travis Political on Twitter and Instagram. I've started kind of using my TikTok again, but I don't remember what the actual.
Yeah, you do spell it like the planet, so there is an E at the end.
Nope. I don't remember what my thing. I know it's different than my.
It's Twitter like T Grossman 1 or something like that.
I don't know. I'm doing magic stuff, like Magic the Gathering stuff on there.
I suggested to him to do that.
It's true. She did.
I was flipping through at work today. I was like, "Son of a bitch, Travis is back on TikTok." That was a Lexi one. I could feel it. I could sense it.
After my viral sensation Jeffrey Epstein TikTok.
Yeah, you made a Jeffrey Epstein joke and then vanished.
But it got popular.
It did. I'm still chasing the high of like the accidental like fucking Lego shit post.
Yeah, all those things. Jared.
Yeah.
Where?
You guys can find. I gotta make sure I actually have the fucking. I can't. My eyes are all watery and I'm itchy now. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at Dark Jedi 2552. And you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website www.thenerdacademypodcast.com. Where, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus of people who get this show a week early. Fikey's Broomer Burner, The Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, Zach Knaus, Michael Armburst, and the troll patron with the really long number name that I'm not going to say.
Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down.
I miss that name.
I know, but that's how I know them. So.
Yeah, it's literally, I made a meme and I posted it on our Patreon so that they would see it. It's literally just this like alphanumeric chain that goes off the screen. It's so long. And I was like, I'm not saying it. So I am going to challenge you to make your name something sayable. Because it's too much. You're going to break the joke otherwise. Be sure to consider the $5 tier where you get access to the Knights of the Nerd Republic Versus series, Heroic History 101, and the TNET Movie Club audio commentary tie-ins. Click on the student store link to get all manner of Nerd Academy merch and goodies. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, rate, review, do all the things. Thank you all so very much for watching or listening or however you engage. And back to class.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar.